Welcome back, you beautiful people. It has been a little while. So what I'm thinking today is we'll start with something nice and light. We're going to do a Doom themed Rimworld playthrough. We're going to be playing against Igor on 500% threat scaling with the continuous raids that grow with time instead of against the point value of your colony, because I think it would be quite fun. Now we are starting with the arc start, which means that our characters are pretty well equipped with their decent armor. So we have the Hawk armor, which is excellent quality, Hyperweave, UAC skin suit, and then they also have shield belts and then another Hawk helmet as well. And they are equipped with the UAC plasma gun, which is of normal quality, so that is a pretty sweet start. We don't start with any building materials or any of that fun stuff, but we do start with some glitter weld medicine and some fancy packaged survival meals, which is going to put us in a nice situation to start. Over here it does look like there are a couple resources, which is quite nice, but having a look around, other than over here, we don't really have too much in the way of fertile land. So I'm thinking we take this area here and then we can start boxing it off, create a kill zone along here, and then maybe use the water to push them through. So they are going to get pretty meshed up, and then we're going to have a little bit of fertile soil here, which is also going to be another easy area to expand and block off. So we are going to be in a pretty sweet situation. First things first, we are going to start getting ourselves ready for some storage. So we're going to get the storage over here, and then it's also right next to all of that steel as well. So we're going to be able to get both of them, which is going to be super good for us. A nice start, methinks. And then we're also going to need to start chopping some wood, because like I said, you don't start with any. And just realised we have just planted over some fertile soil there, but there isn't a massive amount, so I'm not going to worry too much. I think if this playthrough comes down to us harvesting that little bit of fertile soil or not, and that's the difference between if we win or die, I think I'm probably playing this game wrong at that point, so let's not stress too much about that. We're just going to build another room over here. This is going to be the hospital. Easier to get that started straight away before we forget, because going up against Igor, there is a pretty good chance one of our colonists is just going to take a random shot. What we do have though is we have colonist insta-death set to 0, so we're not going to get randomly slaughtered, but they can still bleed out and all of that fun stuff as well. Going to need to start looking into some rooms. We're going to go 7x7 to start, and they probably should have built that there, but details. This is a decent sized room. It's not too big, but it seems to fulfill all the requirements that they have for the room size, and also it's not too difficult to make it start looking pretty nice fairly quickly with minimal effort. So not a massive amount of resources sunk into it, but gets the job done pretty well. If I can actually measure these out properly, that would be wicked. So everyone's working on those. Going to need to start putting some doors in. And we'll put the doors on this side. Then I think across here is where we will chuck down the rec room. And so obviously if they have the rec room, that's going to hit a bunch of their recreational requirements. And then in the dumping storage, we are going to put 2 stone cutter tables, and then we're just going to start bringing down all of this granite and marble. Granite and marble are my 2 favourite stone types. Marble is a particularly weak stone, but does give you the beauty modifier. Then granite is the strongest stone in the game, and well, yeah, so it's just better for defensive structures. So you've got the prettiness of the marble, and then you've got the strength of the granite, which is a really good combination. If you're unsure where the stone types go, if you look in my shorts selection, I cover all of the different stone types in there. So it's like when stones are good, when they're not. and their hit points, cover all of that fun stuff for you, so you don't have to go and figure it out for yourself, because luxury of YouTube right at the moment. Just been to find out everything that you need super uber duper quickly. Getting the beds in. Given the climate we're in at the moment, don't need to worry too much about cooling. So we will leave that be for a little while. But obviously colonists need beds. We're going to need some more wood as well. And let's speed this up a little bit now that we have a decent enough start. Let's see what else we got. So we got more steel up here, we've got some components, which is something that we are going to need pretty early on. Some more components here, there, and here. And a overwall cooler, which I will claim. And we'll uninstall them, then we can reinstall that, because they are going to be super useful. And we do not have the components at the moment to be able to get that. But this one we will just uninstall, well, we'll just dismantle, because a standard cooler isn't really worth it, because the wall then only has the hit points of the cooler and the cooler can burn in, those fun stuff. Whereas if you have a stone wall, then a lot of those issues are, I guess, pretty much mitigated. So just, I find overwall coolers a lot better than just the standard ones. First things first, we're going to get a bunch of granite production underway. We'll just limit the radius so they don't go too far away. We'll have drop on floor, we'll copy, and then we'll paste that onto the second one, and then we'll put a haul urgently on these 33 granite blocks. Put the dumping zone in there. We're going to put 2 more doors, so if they come from either side, they can get in. Just going to speed everything up. Then when we're ready, we're going to have that starting to cool. We're going to need some power. We're going to need to get some food on the way as well. And then if we go 7x7 on these, because we do have the mechanoids, like the vanilla mechanoids expanded mod, because we've got Igor the Destroyer on, which means that we are going to be able to get a bunch of farming robots, which is pretty cool. So they do a 7x21, I believe. And if we can get that, that is going to be pretty ace. And look at that, it's almost like I planned it. So we're going to have rice to start as the first crop, potatoes as the second. Then we will go into cotton, and then lastly in the hill root, because we do have enough medical supplies to last us for a little while, but we will need more. That's all done. Got to zoom in a little bit so we don't get too much. There's some more granite chunks, and there's some more marble that's going to need to be taken in as well. And yeah, I think that is looking all right. We're also owing to priority craft at the moment. I think we wall off along here, along there, and then we just use this as the choke point because it's naturally quite small, so it's going to be easier to defend and not take as much resources to build the kill box. And we've also got the ancient danger, which we might be able to bait sappers into tunneling into, which is always a good laugh. We need to start putting some little like runways into these so the guys can get in and out quicker instead of having to run around. But right at the moment, I think it is just going to be about just getting some walls up nice and quick, because once the raids start, they pretty much don't stop, which makes them quite a lot of fun, but somewhat difficult to deal with earlier on. Let's start getting some marble blocks on the go. Limit the radius. Drop on floor. Cool. With the marbles, we're going to just go and chuck down some flooring. Just make everything a little bit nicer. Then we're going to put that into the rooms as well. What we have done is we have changed the pawn's mood multiplier. So normally, because we're playing on losing is fun, it's on -10. We'll put it on to +10, because right now with all the raids and everything that's going on, I'm more interested in fighting everything and then building the base and seeing if we can survive, more than having to worry about little Timmy having a mental break just because someone might have forgotten to put a horseshoe pin in and a table that he could eat at, because those things happen. Yeah, it's been a little while since I played this properly. Gonna try and find the groove again. It seems to be going on alright. But these guys all start with some pretty mental bionics as well. So the basilisk implant, which gives +10 consciousness, plus a bunch of shooting, global learning factor, then research implant, consciousness, research, learning factor, negotiate, so that's talking, consciousness, and then all of the things that negotiating comes under, I guess. Boorah, wording. Representative implant, that's just a bunch of really nice stuff right there. And then the Cerberus implant, which is another bunch of nice stuff. So that is all pretty tidy kit for us. Get some more rec stuff ready. So notice that was going to be the hospital, and it seems I've already forgotten, which is like super smart of me. What we're going to do is we're just going to strip that down. We're then going to expand it, so then we have a bigger rec room, and then I'm going to rebuild the hospital a little bit closer to the kill zone. So I'm thinking probably tuck it in there. Because what I'm thinking with it is I don't want it too close to the kill zone, and then I want the entrance from the front, not from the back. So I reckon in this section here is going to be the best place for it. So we go there to there. Build out to that, door to door, and then yeah, that puts us in a super sweet situation. Go on to attack on site. Expand the flooring. Get all of this changed up to granite as well. Right, let's check what's happening on the side. Advanced components, not too interested in. So we got new lovers, which is Squint and Vincent. So we'll go chuck a double bed into theirs. Ancient Danger we knew there was. Visitor, not too interested, and a Mad Gazelle already dealt with. So double bed into here, which will free one of those up, and then we can turn Squint's old room. We'll turn that into the prison. And with that, we might as well reinstall that into here, into the hospital. Extend that out so we can actually get to the walls. And then I'm going to put another run across here so the guys can get about instead of having to go through the centre bit constantly. Constantly, yeah, there we go. Take that out. We'll take these extra chunks, run them super low on granite, and turns out, me being the clever cookie I am, I don't allow the picking up of the packaged survival meals, so no wonder everyone's in a bad mood. Consuming survival meals, and hopefully they'll bring them back across with them. Prioritize holding that. We do have a Blackwater Risks raid coming in. That should be here in 12 hours, which is pretty decent. They're going to be fairly well equipped, but nothing too crazy, not this early on. Like later on they'll all have power armor, which makes them quite a lot of fun to fight. Actually, I need to go out by 1, otherwise this is going to be off. Well, that makes a huge difference, but this makes it a little bit easier. Because then you can go 1 wall, 1 barricade, 1 wall, 1 barricade. And the walls offer more protection than the barricades, but then they can hide behind the walls but shoot over the barricades. So you just get like a better defensive bonus for doing it that way. Wait until I've got some more granite in stockpile before I tear that wall down. Get them to pick those up. And then we're also going to need some more wood. Well, we've got plenty of wood, but we might as well get some more because we're going to start running out pretty soon. Put down a billiards table and a poker table for recreation. We haven't got any cotton yet or soft chairs. Okay, it's not letting me build the chair. So wooden chairs for now. Okay, haul that. Break that down, and that should sort me for quite a while, all of that granite chunks there. So they got what, survival rifles, yep, and then he has got a modular hybrid rifle. Nothing too fancy or scary right there, so that is good. Set known Squint and Vincent. And then uninstall and reinstall that there in case we can take one of those guys prisoner. It looks like Squint's got different gear. No, I think it's just because he's bigger. It looks like it's bigger. Alright, too easy. Some more survival meals up there. A whole bunch of granite. And let's just go out and shoot them in the face. There's no point waiting around. We're not going to gain any points for that. It'd make more sense if we had the kill box set, but we don't, so we might as well just go in. And getting in close, we've got a bit of an advantage over their kit anyway. Nope, none of them worth taking, but we will allow everything to be picked up. And then what we do want is, I think down here, okay, since it looks like you'll be here for a while, Owen thinks you should give your faction a name. What should your faction be called? Arc works. Owen also thinks you give the settlement a name. What should this local settlement be called? ACR headquarters. ARC headquarters, yeah? Sweet. That works for me. So, as we are going to be fighting a crazy amount of enemies, we're going to get rid of the bodies. So what I've done is I've installed a mod called Bodies to Chem Fuel. So once you get like the chem fuel refiner, you can just chuck bodies into it and it gives you like 50 chem fuel for them, which works pretty well. But we also have the Mechanoids expanded mod from Igor the Betrayer in. So with that, we're also going to be able to do a bunch of other stuff with the bodies as well, for like breaking them down. So this will deal with it until the mechanoid ships start showing up. We can get the mechanoid components, but obviously in the meantime we still got to deal with it, because we are not going to be able to dig enough mass graves. But this way at least we get something out of it. So we're going to go 7 by 11. No, I think we'll go one further out than that. Yeah, so we're going to have 2 chem fuel refineries in the bottom, and then a door, and then all of the clothes that get stripped off the corpses will be put into there, and then we'll have a lower section for other stuff. So we have like a whole like processor unit going from the top, bodies come in, chem fuel comes out the bottom, with a bunch of other resources from breaking down the armors. Which I think should work pretty well. Get some more flooring down. We are going to need some more colonists real soon. And a ground runner has just tamed. Cool. Going to start working on security, so we're going to go barricade wall, barricade wall. Make a nice little kill zone for ourselves, and then across this top here we're going to make a little runway so we don't have to go through the kill zone to get to where we need to go, or the other side is if we need to get through the kill zone to get around behind them, then we have that option as well. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to put sandbags down anytime soon, which is a bit of a shame. But if we just extend that out the back there, and then we can just put barricades in, and that will stop the pawns from being able to stand on them the same way barricades do. So it just keeps them moving until they're forced into the zone so they can't take cover behind the walls. And if we just go for wood, that is cheap and easily replaceable. Okay, we've got another raid coming in 12 hours. So I quite like this little heads up. So you get like 12 hours before the next raid comes in. So at least you got a little while to get prepared. But so far it looks like, well, we started pretty far ahead of the curve. So it was like the mod start, but it's a very, very powerful start. But I'm sure soon we will be overtaken and then in a fair amount of trouble pretty quickly. But in the meantime, since as it is quiet, we'll get these guys, we'll draft them, save their defensive positions, and then undraft them so they can carry on doing what they're doing. So it's just going to be a quick click, and then they're where they need to be. Reproduction, I think we'll just have the kitchen behind the back there, so they can run in and out. Cool. We got Ada here, see what he wants. Talent scout. We haven't got any money, so we can't actually sell him anything. And he does not want to buy anything that I don't want to sell, so waste of time. Camaro Treaty. Oh, awesome, one guy. Staggeringly ugly, psychopath, athletic and fragile. Cool. Not super impressive, really. But then he was just a tribal run around, basically a loincloth. And we got a super advanced like chain gun. You can see how it turns one-sided. Cool. Well, I think for episode 1 that is a good start. So I'll catch you on the next one.